What is up, everybody? Okay, let's get into the tea. I want to jump straight into it because I really don't want to procrastinate on this video. There's a lot to cover. What I do want to say is something happened unexpectedly. Something happened that I predicted would not happen. As a matter of fact, I said they're not going to do it, and they did it. The California state did exactly what I thought they would not do, which was transfer Tory Lanez to a new prison. Baby, when I tell you I did not expect that, and it has to be because he's a celebrity. There's no way otherwise he would be transferred. I do know when Tory Lanez first was locked up, he was going through a process of being in protective custody. He didn't want to be in PC. Well, baby, these are the reasons why you need to be in PC. You're a celebrity and you are at risk. So all of a sudden, he comes out of PC, he comes into general population because he was totally, like I said, against being locked down 23 hours a day. PC is not cute. That's protective custody. It leaves you with a bad stigma. And I think that's exactly what went on in this California state prison, is that people may have looked at him funny because he was in PC in the first place and thought, oh, he's a punk. He was in punk custody. You know what I'm saying? So Tory Lanez would have to fight his way out of that. He would have to show that he has the gusto, that he has the bullocks in order to be able to hold his own in a prison, specifically like the one that he was in. Now, I said once Tory Lanez was stabbed 14 times by Castillo that he was not going to be moved, but he was moved. As a matter of fact, both of his lungs collapsed after that stabbing. Okay, after he went to the hospital, he ended up in a really bad position. At first, reports came out initially, ain't nothing wrong with Tory, nothing's wrong with Tory. Yes, something was wrong with Tory. Tory was doing bad. I don't know why people with these reports, they come out, what will make you think a man will be stabbed and then it would be non-life threatening or okay or not, in any way going to affect him. He's okay. He's this, he's that. That is so not okay. And to get stabbed in a prison by a person you don't know without anyone that you know around you is a devastating and tragic situation. Okay. I actually just had a woman that I was in prison with, shout out to Cherry and rest in peace, okay, that ended up passing away at Smiley Road in Nevada, in Las Vegas, Nevada, the only women's prison that is in Nevada. And this girl completely is not with us today. And to have to speak to her mother or, think about her having those 4 children and not being able to go home to her children. She has a whole husband, was completely devastating for me. Okay. So the situation with Tory Lanez hits so close to home for me that I could not even tell you guys how close it hits home for me. It is a devastating and tragic situation. As I said, so Tory Lanez had 2 lungs that collapsed on him, and then also several other wounds that he is having to get on the mend from, specifically wounds to his torso, his back, his head. I mean, those are some serious spots to stab somebody in, okay? Well, now, and again, I predicted that he would not be moved, but he is actually moving facilities. So he is moving to California's men's colony, okay? And this is 3 hours away from the California Correctional Institute. So he's moving to CMC from CCI in California, 3 hours away after the situation with Castillo. Okay. His attorney reports that he's doing great, but he is not happy about having to move facilities. As you guys know, he had his little crew, his little group of people that he hung around while he was in CMC. And I would imagine that he would be fine where he's at. When you're in prison, you kind of want to make a little family and make a little situation that's comfortable for you and sit there and be there. Well, this guy Castillo said that Tory Lanez was uncomfortable being being in the cell next to him. So they were in neighboring cells. Now, I've had this situation myself where you can kind of listen, these cells are not noise proof. They're not, bang proof. You can hear and you can smell and all of those things, So if something's going on in the cell next to you, like let's say, for instance, someone's in their cell smoking, you will be able to smell it. If someone's in their cell doing God knows what, I don't even want to halfway describe what I'm talking about, but I think y'all know what I'm talking about. Because Castillo is a lifer, and Lord knows he's got to get his rocks off some kind of way. You know what I'm saying? So if he's in his cell doing those things, you can hear those things. If he's in his cell saying a bunch of N this and N word that and ERs at the end, you can hear it from the neighboring cell. Okay. So Tory Lanez obviously was uncomfortable next to him, according to Castillo. And then on top of that, when you are in these situations, you have to get used to living in a manner that you're not used to living in. The quality of life goes down. People are around you that are forced to be around you, that you're forced to be around. You don't want to be around these people, but here you are being around people that you would never normally even stop and look at. You wouldn't give them a penny out of your pocket, but now you're forced to live with these people. And it's a hard situation to get used to. So sometimes, no, it's not okay to live next to a person that you're not used to being around. I mean, in a character that you're not used to seeing, because Tory Lanez is on a higher level. I mean, for Pete's sakes, he was at Kylie Jenner's home, swimming with Kylie Jenner and Megan Thee Stallion. I mean, I'm just saying. Speaking of Megan Thee Stallion, she's recently been showing some receipts online of Tory apologizing to her and saying, you know what, I'm so sorry that I shot you in your foot, and I was so drunk out of my mind, I didn't know what was going on. I apologize. She showed transcripts of the witness claiming that they saw Tory holding a firearm and a young lady trying to wrestle the firearm out of his hand, which I think is Kelsey Nicole, and that the gunpowder could not exclude him as someone who had held the gun, neither could the DNA. So we have this representative saying that this politician, for all intents, saying that Tory is innocent and that she has ring cam to show that Tory is innocent and that they want him pardoned. We have this petition with over 250,000 signatures on it. But yet and still, Megan's been online pressing her point, disengaging from even her friend Glorilla over that. And I'll talk about that in a separate video. But Glorilla played one of Tory Lanez's songs, and Megan Thee Stallion unfriended her, unfollowed her on Instagram. So Megan Thee Stallion is standing on her business. And everybody is saying they think that Megan Thee Stallion put a hit out on Tory Lanez while he was in prison. I don't think that's the case. I have seen something like that happen before in my experience. But I really don't think that she would go there with her freedom, because you will be found out. You will be taken down, like, not for nothing, but when you break the law, it doesn't go away. That's why I don't understand why people run from the law. With that being said, Tory Lanez has been moved, and Castillo has been speaking about exactly why he did what he did to Tory Lanez. I'm going to give you guys a quick warning. This is kind of hard to listen to. It was hard for me to listen to. I really, really don't like this guy, but of course I have a bias because I know Tory Lanez and I don't know this man. I just know that he's a lifer, and he's obviously done something truly tragic to be having life in prison. So I can already tell what type of character he is. Listen, I'm going to let him tell you guys the story. I'll be back with my commentary.
What exactly took place between you and Tory Lanez that day that you stabbed him allegedly?
Okay. That day? Nothing much took place that day. Everything led up to that day, but that day I just came out in the morning to tell him, good morning, and I told him what's up. Give him a little fist bump, ask him if everything is good. We had a little situation the night before and the day before.
So what was the situation the night before and the day before?
So I heard some rumors that he was trying to put money on my head. He felt uncomfortable living next to him. Said I was a threat. So I confronted him. And then I found out the same thing. He tried to put money on my head, so he said I put money on his head. We had a little discussion or whatever. So the next morning, that night, he said some shit, all kinds of crazy. So the next when I felt like a sting in my leg, I felt like, oh shit, he stabbed me. So I moved back and I kept stabbing more, and I seen that he threw something. So I was like, oh, this is that. So I just kept going. After he was yelling, help, screaming, please help me. I just picked him up in that safe position and said, like, look at me. And then I just let him go. Like, I was just saying, like, man, you trying to kill me?
What were you guys like? I know why, but why would he pick you out of all people to want to put money on your head? Well, what was the beef exactly about?
It was really no beef. He just talked a lot. And I had confronted him a while back about always saying certain around me. Like, I'll take a fade, I'll knife up, I'll put a in his place. And to me, after like the second, third time hearing that in a conversation, I was like, man, what you trying to say? So I approached him and told him, like, what's up? Like, just go, I'll come into your cell, we'll do whatever. Like, let's play this game then. Because I felt like he was kind of antagonizing me, like testing me, like if someone was afraid or something. We were cool in the beginning. We were cool for like a year. We chilled, kicked it together, everything. They did.
Oh, they're not on that type of prison yard, Rochelle.
Okay.
No. They got like little fractions, but she was more like he was different. He started kicking it with certain people, you know. And when we started doing that, that's kind of when we had our little misunderstandings and we stopped talking as much. But we were neighbors for a while. I've been knowing him for about 2 years already.
Okay. And during the situation when you and him grew a friendship?
Yeah, we were cool. We chilled, we ate, we drank, we partied, kicked it. Yeah, we were good.
How much did the guy tell you that he paid to have you killed to get off the yard?
Oh, he said double whatever I was offering, but I never made that offer. That's what I didn't understand. He said that someone told him I offered people money to get rid of him. So he said he would give that person double and some dope and stuff. So, but truth be told, I never offered no money. Like, why would I offer somebody something I could do? It didn't make sense. But once he yelled and made threats and I'll have you killed and, you know, have a run up to your cell, all that comments and I felt like, all right, you threatened my life. Like, there's nothing else to do but confront you. And that's what happened the next morning. I asked him, are we cool? He said, yeah, it's cool. And when I went to my cell, he followed me. Like I told you earlier.
Do you have any regrets of stabbing him?
Regrets?
Because you stabbed him 14 times.
Yeah. I know that. I wish I could do certain things over, you know, but at the end of the day, I mean, I felt like he threatened my life. So, I mean, I can't. Those actions felt necessary to me at the time, like the whole, in the moment, him coming to my cells, you know, grabbing me, walking like, nah, I felt like, nah, it's it. So I can't say I regret taking a stand for myself. No, not at all. I mean, I feel remorseful in a sense because it really didn't have to go that far, but I mean, he made his decisions and I made mine.
Did he end up having a weapon on him?
I mean, obviously I got a stab mark in my leg, but that's going to the hole. I mean, they didn't find no weapons either. I don't understand that part.
But okay, so no weapons were found from him, only from you.
No weapon was the weapon I was using wasn't found either. There was no weapons found.
Where'd it go?
That's what in the video it shows me putting it on the floor. That's what they were asking me. I don't know. Nobody was around. It was just me and him on the tier. We weren't in no day room. Nobody was standing next to us. It was just me and him.
And who saved them?
I let him go. I picked him up. I told him, like, look at me. He looked at me, and then I just slammed him on the floor and kind of kicked the back of his butt with my foot, like pushed him, let him run away.
And did he run away, or did he crawl away, or how did he get away?
He ran screaming.
So this is exactly why these prisons need to start classifying their prisoners, classify the inmates. What's happening right now in prisons all across the United States is there are so many people that are being locked up for so much little petty stuff and that are being sent to prison because they were locked up so many times for little stuff on the streets. Let's look at George Floyd for an example. He had a $20 bill. If anything, he would have been locked up for that, right? They would have put him in jail. But each one of those jail situations, they lead up into you going to prison ultimately. So you have all these little small arrests, all these little misdemeanors, all these little stupid things that they're calling felonies. Nobody's getting hurt, but it's a felony. It's no tragic situation, but there's a felony being committed because of the way the state laws are across the United States. And so you have these little bitty arrests that are leading into the big arrest, which means that now you're going to prison, and the prisons are so overrun because of that they're no longer classifying the prisoners. There is no way that a lifer should be around anybody, no celebrity, first of all, and definitely not a person who is going to prison for not fatally unaliving someone. I had to find the right word here on YouTube. Unaliving someone. If he did not unalive someone, he shouldn't be around people that are unaliving people. Now, mind you, that's debatable to some people because they'll say, well, he held a firearm. Castillo could have easily held a firearm and just the outcomes were two different outcomes. Well, it's the outcome and the intention for me. Okay. Now imagine if Tory Lanez would have unalived Megan, then okay, I can understand him being around Castillo. And guess what? You just got to deal with what you got to deal with, right? But with the situation being what it was, and they were high and they were drunk and no one was unalived, and she herself admitted that, or said, I'm not going to say admitted, but she herself said that Tory Lanez did not do that. He did not shoot anything at her, and that she simply stepped on broken glass. Mind you, the doctors did not find any bullet fragments according to some reports. All those things would equal, let's classify these two people in different categories. Let's have all the red rummers, people that have unalived people, in one area of the prison, and then the people that maybe had violent crimes but didn't unalive people, let's put them over here. And then the people that are in here for petty theft, let's put them over here. The problem is, okay, they are not classifying the inmates nowadays. And so you run into situations like Tory and this guy Castillo. There is just simply no way that someone doing life who doesn't have anything to live for and doesn't have anything to not do things for, like stab people, should be around Tory Lanez, who will be getting out probably on good time, or sooner than of course the guy Castillo. Even if he did get 10 years, it's California, he could do 35 to 85% and be done. So I just don't understand why they would have these two men around each other. I thought that was in very, very poor taste. I really didn't like Castillo's confession, his video. I don't know if they've charged him. They're pending charges against him right now for stabbing Tory. And we'll just see, because really that's an attempted unaliving. It's attempted red rum, if you want to put it in legal terms. It's just not a good situation. So I'm hoping that he does get charged, just so that there can be justice for everyone. If there's justice for Megan, we want to see justice for Tory. I couldn't imagine Megan wanting to see Tory Lanez go down this road of being unalived. I don't know. Maybe she does. Maybe she doesn't. She's been speaking out. She's like, when are you guys going to let me not have to live in this? Why are you guys still making me relive this? Nobody's making you relive it. Tory got stabbed in prison. So now that brought it back to life. That woke it up. We're not making you relive it. Why are you blaming us? One thing that I don't like about Megan, with her unfollowing Glorilla and coming at the public like, when are y'all going to let me live this down? Baby, it's none of our fault. None of our fault. You want people to be in the middle of stuff that they're not in. That's crazy as hell. All right, let me know what y'all think. I'll see you on the next video.